Jones, and welcome to VYPE TV, a show that highlights local athletes, their schools, and their communities. On today's show, playoff time is here. Can you believe it? We have highlights of some of the first games played and a preview of today's games. We'll meet an ex-Major League athlete who now lives in North Texas, and we'll see what he's doing now. We'll introduce you to a middle school coach and learn why she's changed her coaching strategy. And we'll talk recruiting with our resident expert, David McNabb, and find out which players are going to SEC schools. You know, it's an exciting time of year for high school football. This is the first week of the playoffs. There have already been dozens of exciting games played in North Texas, and we have all the latest scores for you at the bottom of the screen. Meanwhile, let's show you some highlights. We begin with a Class 5A Division II showdown between Denton Guyer and Flower Mound Marcus. The Guyer Wildcats went into the playoffs with an 8-2 record, placing second in District 7 5A. Their only losses to Cedar Hill and District Champ Coppel. The Marcus Marauders also with an 8-2 season record. They came in second in District 8 5A. Their only losses were to Allen and Flower Mound. Pick up the action in the second half. Denton Guyer already leading 21-14. Marcus in the red uniforms here, and after moving the ball steadily down the field, Cody Apple catches the 9-yard touchdown pass from freshman quarterback Cole Irwin, the coach's son, who came in when starter Deion Sanders Jr. had to leave with an injury. We're tied at 21. Marauder quarterback's a big night. Still in the third. Sanders back in the game. Takes the ball 9 yards for another score, and Marcus takes the lead 28-21 at that point late in the third quarter. Wildcats striking back now. Trayvon Walton gets his biggest run of the night. He goes 53 yards for the touchdown. Walton with 124 yards rushing on the night on just 12 carries. We're all tied at 28. Now moving to the fourth quarter. Guyer's first drive solid, 72 yards. Capped off by this 33-yard strike from future Oklahoma State Cowboy J.W. Walsh to Cameron Hunter. Walsh 193 yards passing. Wildcats regain the lead at 35-28. Now late in the fourth, Marauders fighting back. They drive 77 yards deep into Wildcat territory. Guyer doesn't give up without a fight, though. After getting first and goal, Marcus star running back Rufus Mason stuffed 3 straight times on the goal line. The leading rusher in 5A this year, Mason, held to 99 yards. Fourth and goal now. This for the game. Deion Sanders Jr. rolls right and finds Taylor Smith, but when Smith jumps to make the catch, his feet land just a few inches out of bounds. It's a heartbreaker as the season ends for Flower Mound Marcus, but the goal line stand sends the Wildcats to the second round of the playoffs. What a game. On to some 4A Division I action now. In Dallas is Kimble from District 11 4A. Took on Woodrow Wilson, District 12 4A, picking up the action in the third. Kimble leading 21-0. The Woodrow Wilson Wildcats shut down all night. Only 83 yards of offense, 7 rushing yards. Wildcat quarterback Piers Christian picked off 3 times on this play. It was almost number 4 as Kimble's Andrew Carter just couldn't hang on. Still in the third, Kimble adds to its lead with a 28-yard touchdown from Terrian Gibson. Gibson with 141 yards rushing for the night, 2 touchdowns. One of Woodrow's only bright spots came on the ensuing kickoff as Carl Harris would return it all the way, 68 yards for a touchdown. Kimble rolls on, though, 27. What a run there. Kimble rolls on. Yes, there he's free. 27-7. Knights move on to round 2 next week. On to Bedford now, where the Porcupines from Springtown met the Raiders from Fort Worth Southwest. Springtown had a 7-2 record, was second in District 5 4A. The Raiders had a 7-3 record, third in District 6 4A. We pick up the action late in the second quarter. Springtown up 3-0, added to their lead when Caden Cowan connects with Cully Calloway. The Porcupines then up 10-0. Cowan, a great game, 18 of 28, 239 yards and 4 touchdowns. Raiders defense answers a little later. 76-yard interception return by Trey Colbert here. It gives life to the Raiders as the Springtown lead is cut to 10-7, just 3 points at that point. Still in the second quarter, Cowan would hit Ian Bickle for the 50-yard touchdown, though. These teams battle for 850 total yards in the game. Remains close all night. Southwest prevails in a nail-biter, 38-37 the final. To Fort Worth now, where the undefeated Yellow Jackets of Arlington Heights took on Saginaw Boswell. Arlington Heights struck first on the 21-yard run from Jordan Price. Price with 3 touchdowns on the night. The District 6-4A champs were up 7-0 in the game. After a Boswell field goal, the Yellow Jackets score again on the 12-yard pass from Omar Valadez. Omar, 377 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Boswell doesn't give up. The touchdown run by Jacob Stone, just the beginning of a monster night for him. He threw 5 touchdown passes, ran for 2 more. The Boswell Pioneers, 4th in district, upset undefeated Arlington Heights 52-49 the final. And meanwhile, the District 5-4A champion Aledo Bearcats taking on Fort Worth's O.D. Wyatt. It was no contest as expected. Aledo leading all the way. The interception return, 65 yards by Connor Bradham in the 3rd quarter. Just icing on the cake. Jonathan Gray, 187 yards on 12 carries, 4 touchdowns, 56-7. The number 1 4A team in the state over O.D. Wyatt. There have been a lot of exciting games during the past 2 days, but there are a few more this afternoon. It is the last day of the first round, and one of the key matchups is Coppel and Plano. The 10-0 Cowboys of Coppel open against the 7-3 Wildcats today at 1 o'clock on Coppel's home field. Ranked 5th in the state, the Cowboys are one of the favorites to win the 5A crown. It's a tough road, though. They've been playing great defense and hope that continues in the postseason.
I mean, I think we got a dang good football team, you know, but it's like anything. You got to be a little bit lucky to make good runs.
The focus definitely rises since we're in the playoffs. We're all trying to step it up, and it's a new intensity.
Just everyone's ecstatic right now, and it's just a really cool feeling to be able to represent our city like this.
And joining us to talk more about that Coppel-Plano matchup, which is just a few hours away, Tim Polzer, editor-in-chief for VYPE magazine. Thanks as usual for being here, Tim. Pretty good first-round matchup here when Coppel goes against a tradition-rich school like Plano.
It is. It's one of those matchups where you almost feel sorry for both teams because they're 2 strong programs. Plano, well, for the 2nd straight year, has gotten in the playoffs in the last week, made a really long run last year against Trinity, almost knocking Trinity out before they won their state championship. So you kind of feel for the loser this week.
Well, the road to this point in their season for the Coppel Cowboys, they've had a lot of lopsided victories, as you'll see here. And Coppel, it's a program that's been building steam for the last several years, and really the new coach Joe McBride has taken up where Bob Shipley left off.
They sure did. Coppel, their first undefeated season. They've kind of quietly flown under the radar this year. Trinity's gotten a lot of publicity, but Coppel's a team to deal with.
And they can do it both running and passing the football. Joe Minden at quarterback for Coppel has put up some big numbers on the year. And that's what makes it so difficult to defend this Coppel team, because they can throw it and run it.
They can. You know, you got Cam McDaniel, who's a versatile running back, receiving the ball and running the ball. You also have a receiver like Tyler Landis, one of Minden's favorite targets, so you just don't know who to cover.
One of those lacrosse players. There's about a half dozen star lacrosse players at Coppel who also play football. But this Cam McDaniel is quite a threat running the ball, with over 1,500 yards rushing on the season, and he's been doing it for 3 years now for the Cowboys.
He has. He's one of those coaches' kids that seems to just pick up the game. He works hard. He's got a lot of talent, and he can do anything they want for him.
And then Plano, here's a team that got into the playoffs out of that tough District 8-5A, and so you know they're battle-tested going into the playoffs.
They are. Like, once again, they scratched their way in. Last year they made a really strong run. They took Trinity to the limits, so they kind of wonder if that's going to give them a little bit of an edge against a Coppel team that should be favored.
Yep, and that's just one of several great matchups on this Saturday. Now, there's not as many Saturday games in the first round this year because, of course, Cowboys Stadium is unavailable due to the big Pacquiao fight tonight. So there are a lot of Friday night games this year, but there are a couple of games at SMU's Ford Stadium starting at noon, just over an hour away, when Lake Highlands takes on South Garland. But I got to ask you, Tim, about the Jesuit-Rowlett game. And the reason I specifically have to ask you about this game is because Babe Laufenberg, his kid goes to Jesuit, he wants to know what's going on in this matchup, Rowlett and Jesuit, so he can tell his fellow parents at Jesuit that they have a chance to win tonight. Do they?
Well, they do. They have contrasting styles with these two teams. Rowlett is a running team with Trayvon Green. Jesuit, Mike Savage is throwing some big numbers this year at quarterback. So, like I said, contrasting styles. Anytime you can throw that much and light up the scoreboard that quickly, like Jesuit can, they have a shot.
But as I told Babe, watch out for Rowlett, because those Allen Eagle fans know that they are capable of winning in the first round.
That probably still hurts 2 years later.
That happened a couple of years ago. Tim Polzer, we appreciate it here on VYPE TV. And coming up next, we'll introduce you to a coach who continues to learn from her students. And later, we'll talk about the hot prospects committed to SEC schools with our recruiting expert, David McNabb.